Hollywood's big
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm meteorologist Samantha Wessing in for Eric this morning.
And Samantha, we had a little bit of a dusting here in Utica, but other parts may have seen more.
Yeah, especially north and down more like Madison County, southern Madison County, they saw a little bit more where those lake effect bands were sitting. But even today, any of those untreated surfaces, those roadways, a little slick out there this morning.
Yeah, especially coming up the hill.
Yeah, the highways, I took the thruway in this morning, that was clear, that was fine. But the wind, you can't knock out the wind either for today, because that also is going to make blowing snow an issue, and it's going to make just in general like larger trucks and things on the roadways. So definitely things to watch out for. Let's take a look at that storm tracker to Yorkville Battery. Live radar right there, and as you can see, lake effect snow, you can see a lot lighter for Oneida County, Utica, Rome not seeing as much, but down in the southern corner of Madison County, out to the west of Oneida County, seeing a lot more heavier snow as we continue into the morning. Lake effect snow is going to continue throughout the morning hours, coming to an end by this afternoon. Let's take a look at those roadways. If you are heading out early this morning, they do look dry. Be aware, though, those side roads, that's where we're going to see a little bit more in the way of snow. You'll see that down in Cooperstown, got a little bit of snow down there on the roadways, a little bit slick this morning. Same situation, though, as we move up to the north. Old Forge, take a look at those roadways. Got a little bit more snow. They saw more snow overnight and into the morning than we did here. So do be careful if you head out for today. Some of those roads are a little slick on your morning commute. And as you can see, snow in the morning, we'll see a little bit of snow, just more blowing snow as we continue into the afternoon. And then we clear out and possible sunshine by the evening hours. Take a look at that full forecast coming up. Back over to you, Gary.
Samantha, nice winter wonderland up there in Old Forge.
Beautiful out there.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, thank you, Samantha. We start off this morning.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning. We'll take a closer look at that tower cam as we can see some snow up here on Smith Hill. Roadways a little bit icy. If you're on those back roads, those side roads, those roads that aren't treated as well, those are things that we're going to have to pay attention to when you head out for this morning. Let's take a look, though, at the... You can see all that snow up there. Current conditions for right now, we're looking at 29 degrees. Winds around 17 miles per hour, so very windy throughout the day, and those winds are going to stick with us as we head into the afternoon and even the evening hours. So what I'm watching for today is that lake effect snow continuing into the morning hours. We're going to see some blowing snow. Most of that, though, should come to an end by your afternoon. Side roads, back roads, a little bit slick. So if you are heading out, main roadways clear, they're pretty fine. Just watch out for the wind out there. And then very windy, still a possibility for some power outages with just how strong we're expecting those wind gusts to be throughout the day today. That temperature trend as we head into the week ahead, well above average for the next couple of days. We're talking back into the 50s as we continue throughout the week ahead. My full forecast, that will be coming up. Back over to you, Gary.
Samantha, thanks. President Biden and former President...
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good morning. Waking up to some snow out there to start the day. Most roadways not looking too bad, but some of those side roads, back roads could be a little slick if you're on your way to work this early in the morning. Let's take a look at that Nexus Center live downtown Utica cam. You can see wet roadways out here in Utica, but a little bit of that dusting of snow on the side roads, on the sidewalks as well. So we did just get a little bit of that lake effect snow as we were overnight into the morning hours. Just a little bit of blowing snow here in Utica to start this morning. We're sitting at 28 degrees. As far as travel impacts go for your morning commute, that lake effect snow in the morning, as I said, most of your main roadways, thruway, any of the main highways, looking to be just wet out there as we continue into the afternoon. Just some lingering blowing snow, windy though, so that's why I kind of kept that afternoon evening commute kind of a little bit on the low impact side just because of that wind out there. And then tomorrow we're clear, we're sunny, not too much as far as a travel impact. We do have that wind advisory in effect from today until tonight. All of that due to some gustier, breezier winds we'll see throughout the day. And you can see as we head throughout the day today, some areas getting close to the mid-40s for possible wind gusts, and that continues right on into the evening. I'm stopping my clock at 6 p.m. You can still see 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts expected for much of our area tonight, and this continues right on into the evening and the overnight hours, not quieting down until around Tuesday morning. So we're going to be dealing with this wind throughout the majority of the day today as well. So that wind, and then as you can see, quieting down as we head into the rest of the work week. We're looking at a lot more quiet weather as well. Taking a look at Storm Tracker 2 live radar, we have a lot of heavier lake effect snow out to the west. A little bit drier here, just more blowing snow here in Utica. And as we zoom in closer, you can see some of those darker colors just to the west of Oneida. So if you are heading west this morning to get out to work, might be dealing with a little bit of heavier snow here. We're seeing a little bit of break in that lake effect snow. All of this, so you can see, continuing throughout the overnight hours tonight. Low pressure passed through. That's what brought those winds over us, causing that lake effect snow. High pressure, that's going to build in from the south, keeping us dry for the next couple of days. And as we continue through that Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, 8 a.m., you can see a lot of that lake effect snow coming to an end here. Most of it done by the noon hour with some blowing snow left over. Clear right on out by Monday night. That's going to dip our temperatures down into the 20s. Overnight, we stay clear, we stay dry right on into the morning on Tuesday with some sunshine to start the day on Tuesday. As far as snowfall total goes, please post those on Facebook so I can see what you have in your backyard. But we're not talking too much here along the thruway for snowfall from that overnight, and again, most of it coming to an end. We're in the upper 30s for today. Snow in the morning, windy, then sunshine. Clear tonight, lows in the 20s. Taking a look at that 7-day forecast. Dry for the next couple of days. Next chance for rain in the afternoon on Thursday. 50s all week. More of News Channel 2 after the break.
And today is Monday, March 11th, 2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Samantha Wessing in for Eric Gage this morning.
And we were just talking about pitch and how both of our families love to play, and this weekend was a perfect weekend for that.
It was. We normally play. We go out for a fish fry on Friday and then go back to my parents to play a little bit of pitch, except I cannot win. I have not been winning.
Well, you've had some bad hands.
How frustrating is it, though, when you turn that hand over and you have like one high and the rest are like under 10? Oh, I get so annoyed.
Frustrating.
So frustrated. But this morning, yes, so up here a little bit of dusting, but it's a little bit slick, you'd have to say, the hill. Just a little bit this morning. You could tell where the plows kind of stopped salting the roads when you're coming up Walker this morning. And that's how the back roads, side roads are going to be a little bit slick out there. So if you do head out there, take your time, especially though if you're heading out west today. Syracuse, getting a little bit more snow than we are right now.
Yeah, we just heard on the scanner a snowplow involved in an accident out there.
So definitely be careful. The thruway was fine on my way in this morning, but heading out west could be a little bit, just a little bit different. Let's take a look, though. Storm Tracker 2, Yorkville Battery, live radar right there. And you can see that lake effect snow heavier in the western portion of Oneida County. Down near Cazenovia, the southern portion of Madison County, seeing some heavier lake effect snow also this morning. You can see a little bit of a break in it, though, here. Rome, Utica, blowing snow, some very light lake effect snow when you wake up in the morning. Most of this, though, coming to an end. Let's take a look at those roadways. You can see down in Bridgewater, a little bit snowy roads out there, but most of our highways here in Utica, Herkimer, Mohawk, pretty clear if you're heading out this morning. You can see, though, Cooperstown, a little bit of a different story. Some light snow on the roads down there. And then Old Forge, they actually got a little bit more than we did here. And you can see those roadways covered up north. They had a little more snow continued last night into this morning. So that snow, like I said, that's going to continue throughout much of the day today until the afternoon. And then we're going to see some sunshine. So it's like two different worlds today. We'll start with those clouds and snow, sunshine by the afternoon. So good weather is back on its way. I'll have more of that forecast coming up. Back over to you, Gary.
Samantha, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Well, access to mental health.
Good morning. We saw that overnight snow. So some areas waking up to a little bit of a dusting on the roadways. Other areas such as Old Forge saw a little bit more snow than we did here in Utica. As you can see on our tower cam right there, we definitely have some snow for the parking lot here. That hill was a little bit slick, so we could expect to see a little bit more slick roadways on those side roads, back roads. So if you are heading out today, please take your time. Current conditions out there, we are sitting at 29 degrees, westerly wind at 17 miles per hour. We'll have some wind gusts in the 30s as we head into the afternoon and evening tonight. So what I'm going to be watching for, that lake effect snow continuing into the morning today, ending by the afternoon. Again, just be careful on those side roads as you head out this morning. Throughways, main roads look to be pretty clear. I didn't have any issues getting in here this morning. And then very windy, still that possibility for some power outages with those wind gusts that we'll be seeing for the day. Temperature trend, though, these cooler temperatures not sticking with us. We're back in the 40s and 50s for much of that week ahead. A close look at my forecast. That's going to be coming up. Over to you, Gary.
Samantha, thanks. A skier is dead and 2 others critically.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good Monday morning. Some snow to wake up to this morning. This area is here, some blowing snow, some lake effect snow, though, especially out in the western portion of Oneida County, Madison County as well for this morning. Let's take a look, though, live Nexus Center, downtown Utica cam. Wet roadways here in Utica. As I said, most of the main roads not going to be much of an issue, as you can see here, but you can see that dusting of snow on the sidewalks that were received overnight here in Utica, sitting at 29 degrees out there right now. Travel impacts, anyone heading out to work this morning, school this morning. I put a little bit of a moderate impact for the morning hours, especially if you're taking those side roads, back roads. They were a little bit slick this morning. That snow coming to an end, but a little bit of lingering blowing snow, and I kept this as a low impact due to just the winds out there for the day today into the evening. Tomorrow, though, clear and sunny, so not much for travel impact. We do have that wind advisory for tonight into tomorrow morning, and what you can see here, wind gusts almost to the 40s by the afternoon for some areas, mostly here in Utica in the 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts for the evening. And then as we continue into the nighttime hours, still keep a little of those gustier winds tonight, not dying down until the morning hours. On Tuesday, we will see that slow decrease in the winds as we continue throughout the work week ahead. Taking a look, though, at that storm tracker 2, Yorkville Battery live radar. As you can see, much of that lake effect snow out to the western portion of Oneida County, down in Madison County, especially near the Cazenovia area, Oneida as well. Out here in Utica, though, we aren't seeing too much in the way of snow. Cooperstown, Otsego County, same situation, some light snow, but you can see those heavier dark colors just to the west of Oneida. So if we are traveling out west this morning, you can see a little bit more snow than what you see here. All that snow, though, continued across the lakes as we headed into the overnight hours. Low pressure, that's what spun those winds back around, giving us that lake effect snow. High pressure building in right after, and you'll see the works of the high pressure right here on that Storm Tracker 2 Skycast. Most of that snow coming to an end by the morning. I'll keep it around a little bit into the morning hours, but most of it coming to an end. Lingering blowing snow. We dry up, we clear right on out by the afternoon. Sunshine by your Monday afternoon. Clear skies into the evening as well. Clear skies overnight. That's going to dip our temperatures down into the upper 20s, and a dry, nice start to our Tuesday. As far as snowfall amounts go, about a trace to 2 inches here, not too much. We're in the 30s for today. Windy and sunshine by the afternoon. Mostly clear with those winds continuing overnight. And as you can see, dry for the middle of the week. The next round of rain looking to arrive on Thursday, and then temperatures into the 50s as we continue throughout much of the week ahead. More News Channel 2 after the break.
Sorry about that. I was a little slow.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Samantha Wessing in for Eric Gage this morning.
And welcome back. You and Jill getting a lot of action these days filling in.
Don't miss Bill too much. He's on vacation this week, so you get a lot more Jill and I this week for sure.
Yeah, good for him getting some nice warm weather down there.
I don't know why he didn't bring Jill and I with him, though, because I think,
Yeah.
we deserve
It's part of the deal, right?
It should be part of the deal, I feel like, especially on days like today. I would be sleeping in still, but nope. It wasn't too bad of a drive, though. The drive in here in Utica, not too bad. Still got some snow, though, out to our west. We'll take a look at that Storm Tracker 2 Yorkville Battery live radar right there, and you can see on the radar here in Utica getting a little bit of a break from that lake effect snow. Same situation, not too much down in the Cooperstown, Otsego County area. More of that heavier snow, especially down in southern Madison County, Casanova area. Seeing a little bit heavier lake effect snow. Same thing out just to the west of Rome. A little bit more in the way of snow. Good news, especially as the sun comes up, most of this will be coming to an end. You can see those roadways. We'll take a look at those as we continue throughout the morning so you know what to expect on your morning commute. Most of the main highways do look to be clear out there this morning. A little bit, though, like I said, of a different situation down to our Southern Valley. A little bit of messier roadways, especially for those side roads, back roads. Take your time if you have to head out there. 28 to start right now in Cooperstown. Old Forge, though, they saw a little bit more in the way of snow last night into this morning. So their roadways a little bit different than what we're seeing here in Utica. So anyway you have it, take your time if you are heading out there. 22 to start up in Old Forge. We're going to get into the upper 30s, close to 40 for our high today. Sunshine, though, back on the way just by this afternoon. So change in the weather as we head throughout your Monday. More of that forecast. It's never more than 10 minutes away. Back over to you, Gary.
Samantha, thanks. We start off with some brand new news.
Good morning. You're going to hear a lot about winds for the day today. If you haven't stepped outside, if you haven't even heard it inside your house, you can hear how windy it is. We're talking wind gusts close to 40 miles per hour as we head into the afternoon. So what you can see right now is as we head throughout today, windy conditions for today. And then we do quiet and calm down as we continue throughout the rest of the work week. Current conditions outside, stepping outside, we're at 30 degrees right now. We are talking getting into the upper 30s for our high today. Look at that wind, though. Westerly wind, 18 miles per hour. That's what's helping to continue with that lake effect snow as we head throughout the day. And as you can see right there, what I'm going to be tracking. Just that snow for the morning, clearing up by the afternoon. We are talking sunshine for the afternoon today. Just be careful if you do head out. I know that those side roads I went on this morning were a little bit slick out there, so do take your time. Many of the main highways out here in Utica seemed pretty clear, just a little wet out there, and then windy. Still that possibility for some power outages with how gusty those winds are going to be. These cooler temperatures not sticking around, and we're back well above average. We're back into the 50s with lows in the 40s for the next couple of days. Gary?
The worst is behind us, it looks like, at least for now.
You keep saying that, Gary, but you're going to jinx us.
Well, President Biden and former President
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good morning. Some leftover lake effect snow. That's what we're going to be dealing with this morning. But the bigger story, those winds sticking around throughout much of the day today, not really quieting down until tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at that Nexus Center live downtown Utica cam. Some wet roadways out here this morning. Not too much more in the way of snow here in Utica. Much of that lake effect snow still out to the west of Utica, mainly west of Oneida as we begin this morning. Temperatures starting out 29 degrees. I did put a moderate for travel this morning, just in case you have to take any of those side roads, back roads. They were a little slick when I was heading in this morning, but the thruway main roads, those were just fine to get in. And I kept a light impact, as you can see, for the afternoon and evening. Most of that due to the lingering blowing snow and the wind we're going to be seeing throughout the day. Tomorrow's commute looking to be fine as we see more in the way of sunshine by tomorrow. You have that wind advisory in effect from today all the way until tonight. That due to some gustier winds we're expecting to see. And as we continue throughout the day today, you'll see wind gusts by the afternoon into the 40s. So we get gustier this afternoon, and they don't die down too much. Back to the 30s for wind gusts in the evening, and things really will not quiet down, as you can see, until we head into the morning on Tuesday. So not just dealing with that lingering snow this morning, but dealing with winds throughout the majority of the day today. As you can see on that Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, we have a little bit of a dry patch of the snow here in Utica, just south of Rome, but much of that snow still out to our west and down to our southwest as well, surely down in the Casanova area, southern corner of Madison County, out towards Syracuse. So if you do have to head out towards Syracuse throughout your morning commute, do watch for a little bit of snow out that way rather than when you wake up to those dry conditions here in Utica. All the lake effect snow continued throughout the overnight hours, and that's all due to low pressure. What happened to have that backspin of those winds, bringing the winds over the lake, giving us a little bit of snow. High pressure, though, that will build on in, and you can already see that decrease in snow as we continue throughout the morning. We'll see all that right here in that Storm Tracker 2 Skycast as we continue throughout the morning. Snow mainly coming to an end for the morning hours. Some lingering blowing snow due to those winds by the afternoon, but things will clear right on out. Take a look at that. Clear skies. That's 6 o'clock today. some sunshine by the evening hours. Clear for the overnight. That'll dip our temperatures down into the 20s overnight. And a dry start to Tuesday. Here's what the snowfall more down and north towards Madison County. A little bit traced to 2 inches here along the thruway. Again, for tonight, we're in the 30s. Snow, windy, then sunshine tonight, back up into the 20s. Winds continuing into the evening hours. Sunshine for Tuesday and Wednesday. Rain arriving by Thursday afternoon. Let's take a look at those birthdays locally here in our area.
Is Monday, March 11th, 2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Director Meteorologist Samantha Wessing in for Eric Gage this morning. He'll be in at noon, though, noon, 5 and 6. So
That's for sure, and I'll be out for a few weeks. I tore my ligament in my hip, so instead of repairing it, they're going to replace it, so I'll be off for I'll be off for a few weeks, but hopefully I'll be on the mend quickly.
Hopefully, take your time.
Yep.
Don't rush back. We'll miss you.
I know that's
But
right.
Don't rush back.
Yeah.
We're talking snow this morning. I looked online. I saw there are a lot of delays out towards the Syracuse City School District as well as Madison County. They're seeing a lot more in the way of the lake effect snow this morning. Here, most of you guys are waking up saying, what snow? So we had it overnight, but a lot of that lake effect snow coming to an end right now. We can see that. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar right there. You can tell where the majority of that lake effect snow falling, not here in Utica, not here in southern Oneida County. Much of that snow still out to our west, down to our southwest, especially Casanova area down in Madison County. Syracuse, seen it, like I said, a couple of those have delays out that way. So if you are heading west this morning, just be aware they're seeing a little bit more snow than what we're seeing here when you wake up, and you can see it on those roadways. Mostly wet out there. I also want to mention the wind. So not only are we dealing with some wet roadways, some windier conditions, some blowing snow possible with that also. You can see those snowy roadways down in Cooperstown from the snow they saw overnight, and that's 28 degrees. And then we have up in Old Forge, got a little bit more snow than us, especially overnight into the morning. They say a lot more throughout the day yesterday. So some of those back roads could be a little slick. Just take your time. Even though you are heading out, like I said, those winds still make it a little difficult to travel, especially on the highways. We're going to get up into the upper 30s for today, and we're talking sunshine by the afternoon. So not a bad day. Just got to get through the snow this morning, and we're back to sunshine this afternoon. My forecast is never far away. I'll have more of that coming up. Back over to you, Gary.
Samantha, thanks. Access to mental health services.
Well, I've been talking a lot about the winds yesterday, today. That's a big playmaker for much of your Monday. We're going to be seeing wind gusts close to 40 miles per hour by the afternoon. Things not really quieting down until we get closer to your Tuesday morning. As you can see, windy for today and then quiet and calm by the middle of the week. So currently outside right now, we are sitting at 30 degrees, westerly wind 18 miles per hour. Again, breezy, windy all day today. What I'm going to be tracking, that lake effect snow in the morning, only for the morning, because I see some blowing snow by the afternoon, but things will dry out. Some side roads, back roads could be a little slick. So take your time if you're heading out today, and then very windy, power outages possible still with those winds. As we take a look at those temperatures for the week ahead, cooler this weekend, but we are right back into the 40s and 50s, well above average as we continue throughout this week. So what we're going to be looking at for this week, though, mostly dry conditions and rain by the end of the work week. Back with you, Gary.
Samantha, thanks. One skier is dead, 2 others.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good morning. Some areas dealing with some lake effect snow this morning and windy conditions as well. Those winds sticking with us throughout the majority of the day today. Let's take a look at that live Nexus Center downtown Utica camera. You can see wet roadways out there here in Utica. A couple of those side roads, back roads could be a little bit slick out there. We're sitting at 29 degrees to start this morning. Now, as far as travel goes, anyone heading out today, I did put a little bit of a moderate impact on this morning's travel due to that lake effect snow, especially if you're heading out west towards Syracuse or southwest down in Madison County. Could deal with some of those slicker roads. By the afternoon, I kept a low impact, mostly due to that lingering blowing snow and those winds we're going to see throughout the day. Tomorrow, clear and sunny. We do have that wind advisory in effect from this morning until this evening. Most of that due to those breezier conditions and those wind gusts. As you can see, as we head throughout the day today, wind gusts getting around the mid-40s by the afternoon. Still pretty gusty into the evening as well as the late night hours. We really don't calm down until we get closer to Tuesday morning, as you can see. So wind sticking with us throughout much of the day today. Storm Tracker 2 Yorkville Battery live radar. We have a break in that lake effect snow here in Utica, south of Rome, Oneida County. Much of that heavier snow that, as you can see, down to our southwest in the southern portion of Madison County, as well as out towards Syracuse for this morning. But this lake effect snow will be coming to an end by the afternoon. As you can see, we saw that snow continuously throughout the overnight hours. Low pressure system passed over us. That brought that backspin of the winds over the lakes, giving us a little bit of snow. And you can already see the high pressure will build back in. And you can already see a little bit of that snow beginning to clear up as we head throughout the morning. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, let's time all of this out as we continue throughout the morning. Much of that snow coming to an end as we get closer to the afternoon. I'll keep a little bit of blowing snow in the forecast, but most of the snow will be over with. We clear right on out, sunshine by the afternoon, evening hours. We stay clear into the late night, overnight, so that'll drop our temperatures into the upper 20s and a dry, sunny start to our day on Tuesday. As far as snowfall amounts, post them on the Facebook page. I've made a post on there. Let us know what you did get. Most of the area, though, waking up to a trace inch of snow, especially along the thruway. So again, for today, we're into the upper 30s. Snow in the morning, windy all day, sunshine by the afternoon. Tonight we're mostly clear. We're into the upper 20s. Taking a look at that 7-day forecast. Beautiful weather for Tuesday, sunshine. Clouds build back in by Wednesday. Rain looking to arrive Thursday afternoon. And then we're back into the 50s for much of the week ahead. Gary?
So, again, this weekend, the worst. Hopefully, we won't get any worse than that the rest of this winter, right?
So we are hoping over here in the Weather Center, that's for sure.
Samantha, thanks. Well, a group of skiers in France.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on the CW11. I'm Gary Liberatore.
I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Samantha Wessing in for Eric Gage this morning.
And we've had some light dusting of snow here at the station, but that picture you showed of Old Forge, man, they got several inches.
They got a lot more yesterday and then into today as well. And a lot of that lake effect shifted more south, so that's why we're seeing it more in Madison, Onondaga County. But here we kind of get a little bit of a break. So you may wake up this morning and say, where's that snow? A lot of it's out to our west, but it is happening. Windy conditions out there. I'm sure you heard the winds last night too.
Yeah, and we've heard on the scanner Syracuse getting pummeled a little bit.
Yeah, they're getting a lot more snow than us. We can see this as we take a look. Storm Tracker 2 Yorkville Battery live radar right here, and you can see where that lake effect snow mainly is sitting, slowly starting to leave Syracuse, as you can see, but still down in Madison County, that southern corner out there out towards Cazenovia, really seeing a lot more of the heavier lake effect snow. We're seeing a light blowing snow, especially northern Oneida County, Utica, just seeing a little bit of light snow, but most of it coming to an end, and it will come to an end as we get closer to the morning. That sun comes up. Wet roadways out there this morning, but I know for a fact those back roads a little bit slicker. As you can see, some cars going up and down that road in Cooperstown, so starting to clear it out just a little bit. And you can see 28 degrees to start in Cooperstown this morning. It's 22 up in Old Forge, and they still got a lot of that snow on their roadways for this morning. So just those back roads, be sure to take your time. Most of the highways were pretty clear, especially for my 3 a.m. commute this morning, so not too bad out there. And we're going to see sunshine as we head throughout the day, and we're back into the 40s almost for our high today. More of my forecast, that'll be coming up. Back over to you, Gary.
Samantha, thanks. We start off with some brand new news this morning as state.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good morning. Lake effect snow continuing into the morning. Most areas, though, we'll see it come to an end by the late morning hours. As you can see in that live Nexus Center, downtown Utica, wet roadways out there, but not dealing with any lake effect snow throughout the morning hours here in Utica. Sunrise starting to come up, busier streets out there as well. Sitting at 29 degrees this morning. Travel impacts, I kept it a little bit moderate for the morning. Some areas still seeing a little bit of that lake effect snow, back roads, side roads, a little bit messy. Afternoon, I'm only going to keep it mild because of those windier, breezier conditions we're going to see throughout the entire day. And then we're fine for Tuesday. That wind advisory in effect for today until this evening, and all this due to gusty winds. Take a look as we head into the afternoon. Wind gusts around the mid-40s, 30s for the evening, and even into the nighttime hours. We're still going to see wind gusts in the 20s for tonight. Things not quieting down until we get closer to our Tuesday morning. Here's a look at that Storm Tracker 2 Yorkville Battery live radar. You can see a little of a break in the lake effect snow. What a difference, though, as we continue throughout the morning. The sun coming up as that heavier lake effect snow, you can see mostly down towards Casanova area, southern Madison County, even out west of Oneida. That snow is a lot more in the purples earlier today. Now it's looking to be a lot lighter, and that'll continue just as we continue into the later morning hours. Most of that lake effect snow was throughout the overnight. See all that break though right here in Utica. Low pressure brought that backspin of winds, bringing that snow over the lake, bringing those winds over the lake. High pressure that you can already see it taking effect as that snow begins to end. And we're going to see more in the way of sunshine as we head into the afternoon. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast continuing throughout the morning. You can already see that ending in the lake effect snow. I'm keeping that chance for blowing snow in the afternoon, as we do expect it to be windier out there for much of the afternoon hours. But we'll see sunshine, clear skies as we continue into the late afternoon, early evening hours, and even staying pretty clear as we head overnight. And that's going to cause our temperatures to dip into the upper 20s overnight, and a nice dry, clear start to the day on Tuesday. So we do have some nicer weather back on its way as we head throughout the work weeks. What we saw here was about a trace to 2 inches along the thruway. Some heavier snow, though, especially down towards the southern portion of Madison County. So again, for today, we're going to get into the upper 30s. Morning snow, windy, and then sunshine. So a lot of weather happening in one day, but it is getting better as we continue throughout the day. Highs getting close to 40 tonight. We're back down into the upper 20s, mostly clear, but those winds sticking around for the evening as well. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. Once we get through the wind and the snow today, we dry out, we clear out. Much nicer weather returns for the middle of the work week. Rain looking to arrive by the evening hours on Thursday. Temperatures in the 40s tomorrow, and then we are back in the 50s. Our lows not even breaking below the 30-degree mark as we continue throughout the week, and possible rain to round out the end of the week. News Channel 2 after the break.
Wind in our microphones because the tower is, and you can see tower cam a little shaky as well. The wind is definitely gusting out there right now.
Yeah, driving in this morning, my car was shaking. It's probably the worst I've ever actually experienced driving on the roads, the wind going back and forth. So yeah, it's blustery out this afternoon.
Absolutely, and if you come up Grace Road, for those of you not familiar, Grace Road is pretty wide open. So it's, you know, hold on to the steering wheel always anyway, but especially now.
Yeah, and let's take a look at the Cavvy Tower Cam again, because look at what we're mentioning here. That camera is whipping back and forth. It is a blustery day out there. But the good news is that we're seeing some more sunshine, and plenty of sunshine for the remainder of the day today, although it will be a little bit on the chilly side. But mentioning those winds, these are the wind speeds, not even factoring in the gusts. Sustained wind of 31 miles per hour in Rome, 20-mile-per-hour winds down in Hamilton. You can see, regardless, all across upstate New York, wind speeds around 20 to 30 miles per hour. But the radar is quieting down after a very tricky and very rainy and snowy forecast over the weekend. Things are winding down, and we are expecting blustery conditions to continue for the remainder of the afternoon and the evening. Clear skies move in tonight. Winds finally calming down a little bit by tomorrow morning. Still a little breezy, but we're tracking warmer temperatures. Let you know exactly how warm we get coming up. Steve?
All right, Eric. So again, hold on to your hats out.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Welcome back, everyone. This Monday started out with a few light snow showers, blustery conditions. Well, the snow has moved away, but the winds are still sticking around. In fact, taking a live look at our Nexus camera at downtown Utica, even our camera on the Nexus Center is shaking a little bit because some of those gusts are reaching all the way down, even into parts of the Mohawk Valley. It's currently 36 right now, but I bet that wind chill feels a lot cooler. We'll talk about that in just a second. But again, we do have wind advisories in effect for pretty much all of central New York, aside from northern Herkimer County, until later on this evening, as those gusts are remaining fairly strong. We're seeing wind gusts between 45 and 50 miles per hour reported in some spots at this point. Now, the winds will gradually weaken as we approach the overnight hours, and then by tomorrow, breezy, but not nearly as windy as today. And so, for example, if you haven't grabbed your trash can early this morning from garbage day, well, it's probably all the way down the street beyond your neighbor's yard with all the winds we've been seeing. And again, the winds remain windy for this afternoon and this evening, and less windy by overnight and tomorrow. But the radar is looking quiet and dry here locally, and regarding those conditions, we've got temperatures in the upper 30s right now. That sunshine helping a little bit, but you factor in those winds, it still feels like the upper 20s right now, and you can see here those wind speeds gradually decreasing as the evening continues onward. The bigger picture, low pressure exiting our area to the east. We're seeing a brief ridge of high pressure move in for today, rest of today, and into tomorrow and the start of Wednesday. But that's when rain chances will start to rear its head, especially by Wednesday. You can see here Tuesday looking mostly dry, and in fact sunny with temperatures warming up a little bit. But then a few frontal boundaries, weak ones, entering our area by Wednesday, and that could bring the very small chance of rain, a better chance for rain later on in the week. But on our Skycast, you can see those temperatures still in the 30s this afternoon, cooling down into the low 30s overnight tonight with a few passing clouds, winds still remaining on the breezy side. Then tomorrow, sunshine, temperatures climbing into the 50s, and then by Wednesday, those winds almost non-existent. But you can see here there's a few patches of some spotty green here and there that could indicate a passing light drizzle. But for the most part, we are entering a quiet stage. We're no longer seeing very active weather for the middle of the week. But look at your 7-day forecast. The snow showers have ended for today. We're talking about sunshine lingering into Tuesday. Clouds increase a little bit for Wednesday, highs in the 50s. Remaining pretty mild for the next 4 to 5 days, even into the start of the weekend. We're not leaving rain out of the forecast just yet for the St. Patrick's Day Parade. We're cutting it really close, but we'll wait for more data to come in. But for now, we'll leave it on the rainy side.
Look, we've seen everything at the St. Patrick's Day Parade. It was 65 one year. It was a snowstorm more than once. So, you know, if we're looking at a high of, well, it'll probably be in the low 40s around parade time.
Yeah, probably.
We've seen much, much worse. So hopefully we can bump that up a little bit by the time we get
to it.
The
rain won't be too bad, though.
Yeah, no, listen, we're a tough bunch here. All right, thanks a lot, Eric. Well, Kensington Palace said this morning that once again, let's head over to meteorologist Eric Gage. Eric, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Steve. It's still a blustery one out there right now. Take a look at these wind speeds, still 21 miles per hour in Hamilton, 31 miles per hour in Rome, 28 miles per hour in Syracuse, gusts as high as 45 miles per hour across central New York. And one way to kind of gauge how fast the winds are whipping around this afternoon is take a look at the clouds right here. Look how fast they're moving across the screen. Like normally, with calmer days, the clouds are very hard to see move, but of course, in this case, it's still very windy out there today. Radar, though, is quieting down. We're seeing the remnants, a few flurries coming to an end earlier on this morning, and again this afternoon is looking dry and sunny, but it's still going to be windy out. Temperatures in the upper 30s, cooling down into the mid to low 30s overnight with partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. We're tracking a warmer and less windy day tomorrow, plus what to expect throughout the work week straight ahead. Steve?
All right, thanks a lot, Eric.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. After a rainy, snowy, and somewhat gloomy weekend, things are looking more sunny for today. Plenty of sunshine being tracked on the Mezina camera network all across central New York. A live view right here. But I want to mention something too, because we've gotten questions again. And those of you who are paying close attention to the screen, you probably can see it up in Redfield. Something looks a little bit out of the ordinary. You probably look at a creature right here. That's a cardboard cutout of Sasquatch. Don't worry, it's not an actual Bigfoot or actual Sasquatch up there, but just a heads up. That's what you're seeing if you're wondering what's on your screen right now. But with the winds, it's still blustery out. Wind advisories in effect for pretty much all of central New York, aside from northern Herkimer County and Lewis County until this evening, as the winds remain pretty strong. Gusts as high as 45 miles per hour across a lot of central New York. And the winds will gradually subside as we head into the evening and overnight. Still a bit blustery, but by tomorrow morning, it will be a little bit better. We're still looking at a decent westerly wind of around 5 to 10 miles per hour, gusts as high as 20, but thankfully not as high as 40 or 45 miles per hour. So if your trash day was this morning, well, your trash can is way down the street. If your garbage day is for tomorrow, well, if you want to wait until early tomorrow morning, if they come later, or if not, wait until later on tonight to put it out, the winds will continue to calm roughly between 9 p.m. and around midnight. Still a little breezy, but again, not as windy as last night and this morning. Radar showing quiet conditions and those temperatures hovering in the upper 30s. We could be reaching the low 40s in some spots in the lowest elevations, but it won't feel like 40 with those strong winds. In fact, those wind chills will feel below freezing in the 20s. And what we're expecting for the next few days, well, low pressure exits our area to the east. We're tracking a ridge of high pressure, but it won't be directly over us. It's going to start shifting some clouds and winds over the Great Lakes, but it will be warm enough where it's not going to cause any lake effect or any major weather systems. But we can still see a cold front arriving by Wednesday, and then a warm front to the south that could bring the potential for maybe a light, brief sprinkle Wednesday or Wednesday evening, but for right now it is trending more dry. But for the near term, it's sunny, a few passing clouds by this evening and tonight, and then by tomorrow, even more sunshine and warmer, with temperatures climbing as high as 50. And so for today, blustery and windy, temperatures in the 30s. Tonight, lows falling into the low 30s to upper 20s with partly cloudy skies. Your 7-day forecast. It's looking pretty mild the next few days. Rain chances begin to increase by Thursday and Friday, and you probably see in the 7-day right there, the St. Patrick's Day Parade, the icon above it showing potential for rain. We can't rule it out just yet. We got low pressure tracking from the west, and so for now, we'd rather say it's going to rain, and then if things start trending more dry, that will take the forecast off for that.
Little update that, but yeah, again, as we've said earlier, we've had bitterly cold weather and a lot of snow, and that doesn't look like it's going to happen this weekend. So, all right, thanks a lot, Eric. Well, students attending Providence College.
First look at the forecast. We bring in meteorologist Eric Gage, hanging out with me for the evening show.
It's been a little bit.
All right, it has been a little bit. You bring wind.
Yes, I bring sunshine.
That's even better. I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take the sunshine, but the wind's been strong.
Yeah.
Driving into work today, even my car was sliding back and forth. The winds are definitely strong. Look at what's going on right now across central New York. As we're in the chair behind me, I'll scoot that over here. I'm getting used to these new camera shots. We got winds whipping through the Mohawk Valley right now. Wind speeds of 30 miles per hour officially at Griffiths and Rome. But look at the wind gusts, near 50 miles per hour in Herkimer. In fact, there were reports of wind damage. Outages out near Albany at this point, and you can see here in the Cavey Tower camera, the winds are whipping. The good news is the winds will begin to calm down as we head into the evening hours. Matter of fact, you can see here blustery conditions turning to clear but quiet conditions tonight as temperatures fall into the upper 20s to low 30s. We're tracking what to expect for tomorrow as well as the work week ahead, straight ahead.
All right, Eric, thank you. Appreciate that. Now, the wind, certainly no joke today, as he just said. It knocked at Ave and Herkimer throughout the day. Sporadic power outages in Oneida County. As of late this afternoon, there were 88 National Grid customers in the county without power. The Herkimer County Humane Society is dealing with another case of animal.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good evening. Welcome back, everyone. The winds are very strong today. In some cases, a bit of an understatement with reports of wind damage, power outages, especially out near Albany. But we're enjoying the sunshine today, taking a live look at our Nexus camera, looking to the west. That's where we're seeing that sunset right now, approaching a little bit later this week compared to last week after 7 p.m. But one thing to notice right here, the winds are strong. That American flag is blowing very fast. And on top of that, with the skies behind us right now, if things line up perfectly, they could be seeing a nice, colorful sunset as these high-level clouds move in. Wind advisories in effect until 8 p.m. for areas of Oneida, Madison, Shenango, and Otsego counties until midnight for Herkimer County and east. Again, very, very windy conditions down to the Mohawk Valley. And if you had trash, you put the trash out yesterday into this morning, well, the trash can is probably way down the street beyond your neighbor's yard. But if your garbage pickup is this morning, or at least I should say for tomorrow morning, it's looking to be a little bit better with breezy conditions, not nearly as windy as today. Radar showing quiet conditions here locally, and those temperatures will cool down from the upper 30s into the low 30s to upper 20s tonight. But the main focus are those winds. As you can see here, blustery, windy conditions becoming breezy, and then not too bad of a start for tomorrow. But again, the winds do pick up a little bit by tomorrow afternoon. Bigger picture, low pressure that caused rain, snow, and those windy conditions is exiting our area to the east. Behind that, high pressure moving in slightly. It's bringing in some more clouds for at least early tomorrow morning, but these clouds diminish, and we're talking about sunshine and mild temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s for your Tuesday, with rain chances beginning to arrive a little bit on Wednesday. So again, tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy to partly clear skies, lows falling into the low 30s to upper 20s. Then tomorrow, still a little breezy, a passing cloud in the morning, but sunshine by the afternoon with highs in the upper 40s to low 50s. Then things turn a little bit unsettled as we head into Wednesday. We're watching a frontal boundary, a weak one that could produce maybe some light sprinkles here and there, but we're not talking about anything major like the widespread rain we saw this past Saturday, but there are better chances for rain later on in the week. Tonight, across central New York, lows falling into the 30s and 20s, partly cloudy skies tomorrow. It's looking pretty nice, breezy, but highs in the 40s to low 50s. 7-day forecast. Better chances for rain later on in the week, primarily on Friday. We're looking at low pressure moving in, and fingers crossed, as of now, this might pass the area by Saturday morning. Might be some lingering rain, but we could be drying out by the parade.
Ooh.
Hopefully.
It's all about the timing.
Yeah, all about the timing. It's looking not to be snowy, not a snowstorm like we've seen in years past, but
no
looking
kidding.
a little better.
All right, thanks very much, Eric. Well, the state DEC has put out public safety and the forecast. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage in this half hour.
Yeah, it's a windy one out there today, to put it as an understatement. It's 40 out, but it definitely doesn't feel like 40. In fact, those wind chills have fallen below freezing down into the 20s. You can see there are 30-mile-per-hour sustained winds, wind gusts in some spots as high as 40 to, in some cases, 50 miles per hour. But there is sunshine. If you're taking the dog out for a walk, Sky's buddy today is Jackson in Whitesboro. Look how adorable he is right there. Has all that St. Patrick's Day apparel on him right now. And if you're walking your dog out this evening, again, bundle up. The winds are strong, but they will gradually diminish as the night continues on. The Skycast is brought to you by Nye Automotive Group. Regarding the temperatures for the next few days, it's warming up a little bit tomorrow, even more warm for Wednesday and Thursday, and we begin a gradual cool down Friday, Saturday, warming up briefly on Sunday, but the trends are looking more on the cool side for the second half of March. But before then, let's talk about this week. We have a look at those rain chances coming up. Back to you.
Eric, thank you. Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day. We all know that. And as we prepare for you to...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good evening. Welcome back. After a few morning snow showers turning to sunny skies by this afternoon, a few more clouds are moving in. These clouds a bit thin, making the sun look a little milky there as we take a live look at our Nexus camera looking at downtown Utica behind the Wynn Hospital. My gut feeling is we'll see a colorful sunset this evening as these clouds are in perfect position to cause, again, colorful reds and possibly oranges as the sun continues to set later on this evening. Now, with garbage day for some of you that happened last night and this morning, unfortunately, your garbage can probably is way down the street beyond your neighbor's yard. But if your garbage day is tonight and tomorrow, well, it's better news. Your garbage can will be nearly as far. The winds will be much less strong tomorrow compared to today. But still, gusts will continue for the next few hours before things will gradually wind down. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, a live radar. Here in central New York, things are quiet and dry. The radar picking up these clouds out to the west, but this is not reaching the ground, even though it is indicating that there is rain and the blue is indicating snow. So we are looking dry for the next few hours. Temperatures will continue to fall heading into tonight, falling into the low 30s to upper 20s, but you look at those wind chills, it will still feel below freezing for the next few hours, but by tomorrow, much less windy, and it's also looking sunny as well. Bigger picture, low pressure that caused the unsettled weather over the weekend with that rain and snow is exiting our area to the east. High pressure sets in a little bit. It's not quite moving directly over our area, but it's enough to whisk away some of these clouds to produce some sunshine for tomorrow. But as we head into Wednesday, we're tracking another system that will bring the chance for a few spotty light rain showers. A higher chance on Thursday and a much higher chance by Friday. So tonight, a few passing clouds, lows falling down into the upper 20s to low 30s, winds calming down a little bit, remaining a little breezy tomorrow, with temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s. Still plenty of sunshine. Overall, pretty nice early to mid-March day. Then as we head into Tuesday night and Wednesday, things turn a little bit more unsettled. We have a few passing clouds, a chance for a brief light sprinkle or shower in the morning as the frontal boundary passes us, and beyond that, we dry out a little bit with highs in the upper 50s, could even reach low 60s if we get enough sunshine. But for today across central New York, at least tonight, lows falling down into the 20s, partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, warmer a little bit with highs in the 40s, 7-day forecast. 50s the next few days, rain chances increase on Friday. The rain looks to end by Saturday morning, hopefully in time for the parade, but regardless, more unsettled weather returns by Sunday and Monday.
Look at your forecast at 6. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
We're tracking the end to a very windy day. The sun is shining, but those winds still remain pretty strong. 24-mile-per-hour sustained wind at Rome within the past hour. A little bit more calm down in Hamilton, but even in Albany, 31-mile-per-hour sustained winds. Gusts even stronger. The max wind gusts up as high as 49 miles per hour. Stronger winds again heading down in the Mohawk Valley, closer to Albany. But a live look at our Cavvy Tower camera. The winds are whipping. The camera's shaking a little bit right now. And as we head into the next few hours and into tonight, the winds will slowly calm down. Looking to partly clear to mostly clear skies by this evening and tonight, with lows falling down into the 30s and 20s. We have a nice day on tap tomorrow, still a little bit breezy. And we're also tracking the potential for rain later on in the week into the weekend. Look at that, full forecast is coming up. Jason?
Eric, that wind was nasty today. It knocked a tree onto a house on Highland Ave in Herkimer. Throughout the day, there were sporadic power outages in Oneida County. At last check, over 900 National Grid and NYSEG customers combined without power, and that was up from just 89 in the previous hour. New York's presidential primary.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good evening, welcome back. The sun has been shining today, but the winds are still pretty relentless across a lot of the area. But we could be treated to a nice, colorful sunrise. Let's take a live look at downtown Utica right now. You can actually also see the winds whipping right there with that American flag on the bottom of the screen. It's still remaining blustery out there for today. And on top of that, for those of you who had trash day this morning, well, garbage can probably all the way down the street by now. But if you have your trash day for tomorrow, well, it's going to be less windy. In fact, just a light breeze by tomorrow morning. So thankfully, your recycle bins and your trash cans won't be nearly as far. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are seeing dry conditions here in central New York, and although the radar is lighting up with some light green and some white out west, this is primarily cloud cover, elevated moisture, which is not going to be reaching the ground and will also be passing generally south. Temperatures still in the upper 30s to low 40s in some spots, cooling throughout the evening. And then tonight down into the low 30s to upper 20s. Winds also becoming less windy, in fact, much more calm by 2, 3, maybe 4 a.m. So again, the wind chill is still a bit blustery. Wind chills around 29-ish degrees, but as we head overnight, looking at temperatures feeling like the 20s with that at least light breeze. Bigger picture. We've got that low pressure exiting our area to the east. High pressure moving in a little bit to central New York by tomorrow. And there is a chance for some clouds early Tuesday, but these clouds will whisk away and some sunshine will arrive by tomorrow afternoon with warmer temperatures expected and much less windy conditions. And so our skycast for tonight calls for partly clear to partly cloudy skies. Lows falling down into the upper 20s to low 30s. Tomorrow, a few passing clouds, which should burn off by noontime, and those temperatures climbing into the upper 40s to low 50s with plenty of sunshine. Then by Wednesday, we're tracking an arrival of a weak frontal boundary that might not be producing maybe nothing more than a light sprinkle or maybe a light shower or two by the early to mid-morning. But beyond that, those temperatures climb into the upper 50s, possibly low 60s with sunshine again by Wednesday evening. And for tonight, across central New York, lows in the 20s and 30s, partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, we're looking at sunshine. A beautiful day, but it'll still be a little bit blustery out there. Thankfully not as blustery as today, but your 7-day forecast, warmer Wednesday and Thursday with higher rain chances arriving on Friday as widespread rain continues overnight. Hopefully it comes to an end by Saturday morning at this point, and just in time for the St. Patrick's Day parade. But like last year, it was snowing. It might be a little bit nicer to go out on the roads for that.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, fingers crossed.
All right, thanks, Eric. Well, the state DEC has put out public safety and viewing guide. Power outages in the area today and brought trees down, knocked down a tree onto a house on Highland Ave in Herkimer. Throughout the day, there were sporadic power outages in Oneida County, hundreds earlier this evening. Let's get a first look at the forecast now with meteorologist Eric Gage in for Bill tonight.
It's been a blustery day here in central New York, and the winds will be winding down within the span of a few hours. But just again, a recap of those max wind gusts. Herkimer saw the most of it at 49 miles per hour. Even some locations of Springfield seeing 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, sustained winds earlier of around 30 miles per hour. But the winds will be diminishing as we head into the overnight hours. Nice weather expected tomorrow, a decent breeze, but again, not nearly as windy as today. And we're also tracking the potential for rain later on in the week. We'll have more info on that in just a few minutes. But again, for tonight, looking at partly cloudy to partly clear skies, lows falling down into the upper 20s to low 30s. We're looking at tomorrow's forecast and the forecast for the full week ahead coming up. Back to you, Jason.
Eric, thank you. Decision 2024.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good evening and welcome back. It's been a blustery but sunny day after a few morning flurries and light snow showers, and things are still remaining quiet across the area for tonight. The winds will slowly be coming to an end as a partly cloudy to partly clear skies move into central New York. But at least early this morning, if you had your garbage out, well, it was probably way down the street beyond your neighbor's yard. But if you have to put the garbage out tonight and for tomorrow morning, well, the winds will be much less windy by at least the early morning hours for Tuesday. In fact, regarding the overnight lows, falling down into the low 30s to upper 20s, warming up pretty quickly by tomorrow morning into the upper 30s, eventually the upper 40s to low 50s. But regarding that wind, much less windy compared to today. Now regarding rainfall, it's looking to be a dry one for your Tuesday. No rain or snow is expected. Wednesday and Thursday, there's a possible chance. We've got two frontal boundaries moving in. They are both weak, so we're not likely to see anything major from it, but it still remains unsettled for both of these days. But there's a much better chance for rain on Friday as low pressure begins to arrive from the west. That'll linger into the early part of Saturday, and hopefully it will dry up in time for the St. Patrick's Day Parade. But the bigger picture, we can see that coastal low exiting our area to the east. That's what caused the very strong winds. And now high pressure moving in over parts of central New York will arrive by tomorrow, bring with it some sunshine after a few morning clouds. But as you can see here, a weak frontal boundary will arrive by Wednesday. But you notice not a lot of rain along with it too. Maybe a spotty shower or two, but we're not looking at anything major with that. But to our skycast, you can see here, it was sunny for today, tonight, partly clear to partly cloudy skies with lows falling into the upper 20s to low 30s. A few passing clouds for your Tuesday morning. Those morning clouds burn off. We're talking about sunshine and highs in the upper 40s, low 50s. A little bit breezy, but again, it's a pretty beautiful day by March standards. Then by tomorrow night, we're looking at quiet conditions and then a few passing clouds and maybe a light shower, light sprinkle early Wednesday morning. But again, things do dry out by Wednesday evening with temperatures climbing as high as the upper 50s to low 60s. But again, tonight across central New York, it's quiet with partly cloudy to partly clear skies. Tomorrow, pretty pleasant with highs in the 40s and 50s with mostly sunny skies. 7-day forecast, mild the next few days. Again, we're tracking the end of that rain Friday night into early Saturday, but it's temporary. We're back to more rain showers by Sunday and Monday.
The news with Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We'll get to those stories in a moment. First, Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis joins us. We have some weather issues we're going to have to tackle this weekend. Hope you hadn't put the shovel away just yet.
Yes, because if you did, you're going to have to dig it out. We're talking about snow accumulation for Saturday night and Sunday. We have winter storm watches in effect. These will probably become winter storm warnings at some point tomorrow from the National Weather Service. We're talking about high elevation snowfall, and this snowfall accumulation could be significant, especially for the higher terrain. We're looking at an environment tomorrow night, and Sunday where temperatures cool off with height, which is pretty common, but when temperatures are right around freezing, it makes all the difference in the world between rain in the lower elevations and snow in the hilltops. And this is the type of environment we're expecting for Saturday night, again, producing that rainfall in the lower spots and heavy snow in the hilltops. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across the region. It remains dry tonight. Our current temperature is 43 degrees, still holding on to clear skies for now at Griffiths and Rome. We do expect clouds to thicken up throughout tonight. And again, tracking that rain as we head into Saturday, turning over to snow by Sunday. Look at the forecast coming out. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New tonight, a winds that came to fruition caused multiple power outages in the area today. Brought some trees down, knocked a tree down, and onto a house on Highland Ave in Herkimer. Throughout the day, there were sporadic power outages in Oneida County. Hundreds earlier this evening. Let's get a first look at your forecast now with meteorologist Eric Gage in for Bill.
It's been a blustery day here in central New York, and the winds will be winding down within the span of a few hours. But just again, a recap of those max wind gusts. Herkimer saw the most of it at 49 miles per hour. Even some locations, as Springfield, seeing 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Sustained winds earlier of around 30 miles per hour. But the winds will be diminishing as we head into the overnight hours. Nice weather expected tomorrow, a decent breeze, but again, not nearly as windy as today. And we're also tracking the potential for rain later on in the week. We'll have more info on that in just a few minutes. But again, for tonight, looking at partly cloudy to partly clear skies, lows falling down into the upper 20s to low 30s. We're looking at tomorrow's forecast and the forecast for the full week ahead coming up. Back to you, Jason.
All right, Eric, thank you. Decision 2024.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good evening and welcome back. It's been a blustery but sunny day after a few morning flurries and light snow showers, and things are still remaining quiet across the area for tonight. The winds will slowly be coming to an end as a partly cloudy to partly clear skies move into central New York. But at least early this morning, if you had your garbage out, well, it was probably way down the street beyond your neighbor's yard. But if you have to put the garbage out tonight and for tomorrow morning, well, the winds will be much less windy by at least the early morning hours for Tuesday. In fact, regarding the overnight lows, falling down into the low 30s to upper 20s, warming up pretty quickly by tomorrow morning into the upper 30s, eventually the upper 40s to low 50s. But regarding that wind, much less windy compared to today. Now regarding rainfall, it's looking to be a dry one for your Tuesday. No rain or snow is expected. Wednesday and Thursday, there's a possible chance. We've got two frontal boundaries moving in. They are both weak, so we're not likely to see anything major from it, but it still remains unsettled for both of these days. But there's a much better chance for rain on Friday as low pressure begins to arrive from the west. That'll linger into the early part of Saturday, and hopefully it will dry up in time for the St. Patrick's Day parade. But the bigger picture, we can see that coastal low exiting our area to the east. That's what caused the very strong winds. And now high pressure moving in over parts of central New York will arrive by tomorrow, bring with it some sunshine after a few morning clouds. But as you can see here, a weak frontal boundary will arrive by Wednesday. But you notice not a lot of rain along with it too. Maybe a spotty shower or two, but we're not looking at anything major with that. But to our skycast, you can see here, it was sunny for today, tonight, partly clear to partly cloudy skies with lows falling into the upper 20s to low 30s. A few passing clouds for your Tuesday morning. Those morning clouds burn off. We're talking about sunshine and highs in the upper 40s, low 50s. A little bit breezy, but again, it's a pretty beautiful day by March standards. Then by tomorrow night, we're looking at quiet conditions and then a few passing clouds and maybe a light shower, light sprinkle early Wednesday morning, but again, things do dry out by Wednesday evening with temperatures climbing as high as the upper 50s to low 60s. But again, tonight across central New York, it's quiet with partly cloudy to partly clear skies. Tomorrow, pretty pleasant with highs in the 40s and 50s with mostly sunny skies. 7-day forecast, mild the next few days. Again, we're tracking the end of that rain Friday night into early